So, Marvel Future Fight's 6.1 update, which is based on the Guardians of the Galaxy, is going to be landing in roughly 12-ish hours from now. And the patch notes have been released around 2 hours ago. And I thought I'd just give my thoughts on them. I have a few, especially given how this update fits in line with the updates from the previous months. So, 526 update details. Greetings, agents. This is CM Fragment of Marvel Future Fight. Information that's written here are things that we already know. We know that there will be a couple of new characters like Beta Ray Bill, Phyla-Vell, Darkhawk, Nova, Gladiator. And we know that there's 2 uniforms. And we know that Star-Lord is getting the Tier 3. Controversially, might I add. But, yeah. And we know that there's an Epic Quest as well. So, let's look at the 5 new heroes. Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill is a character that I have actually always wanted to see in Marvel Future Fight, and I'm quite surprised that it's only being added now, but better late than never. His leadership skill is pretty helpful, lightning damage. I assume this will scale, of course. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will scale because based on the content from Star Creators, I know that this 4th skill's 50% lightning resistance down goes up to 100. So I'm assuming that all of the skills here are on their lowest level. So this lightning damage, I think, goes up to 50% or 40% at the worst. I don't know. It's a thought. Damage decrease received is good, kind of. This activation rate of HP, it's the heal that he gets when his HP hits below 45%, I think is good too. But I don't think it's good enough in the sense that you'd associate healing with PvP game modes, but I don't think this is good enough for him to survive in PvP game modes. Now in PvE, when let's say a world boss will hit you and take out a huge chunk of your HP, this would be very helpful. And it does seem like Beta Ray Bill is a very PvE-centered character. His Tier 2 skill is, well, the lightning damage is good, but it just seems like it's a very plain Tier 2 passive. Like, he could get something like bonus damage. I mean, he could have, but like, or something else. The 24% ignore defense, I think, is negligible because most accounts are built on having your ignore defense capped without an extra 20%. So I think this can just be ignored, and if we just look at it as the Tier 2 skill increases lightning damage by 30%, that seems kind of lame, I think. I mean, like, it's not terrible, but yeah. If you look at all of his skills, so many of them have lightning resistance down, which I think will help him a lot, especially in World Boss. Obviously, we're all thinking about Ebony, because that's where the elemental damage hits hardest the most. I'm very curious to see if the 100% lightning resistance down will make him very good for Ebony. I don't know if he'll be better than Thor. He might be, given that he does have an awakening skill, which we will discuss later on. But right now, I just don't know if this 100% resistance down will be very effective, since there are other characters I know in the game that have 100% resistance down for other elemental skills. I believe Scarlet Witch or Apocalypse, one of the two, has 100% mind resistance down, and we don't really see them utilizing that to the effect of, say, Weapon Hex Captain America 100% all defense down combo, or Deadpool's 100% all defense down combo. So yeah, I'm curious to see where it will lead. I have high hopes for Beta Ray Bill. He seems good, especially looking at the skills that were showcased in the live stream and in other Star Creators accounts. Next we have Phyla-Vell. Phyla-Vell is the Victorious, the Colossus, the semi-paywall character that we get in the update, and I'm looking forward to getting her through shifters, as per usual. But she seems like a good character for support mainly, as has been noted. because when we think of her as a support, mainly look at the tier 2 passive, which applies to all universal types. Um, I think the all attacks have been increased. I believe in the Star Creators APK, the tier 2 passive was 25% increase of all attacks, and here it is 30%. So that's good. It makes her better. Super armor on a character is also very good for PvE mainly. Um, this reflect could be good for PvP, but given that it's only energy defense, there might be some limitations, especially with the rise of Black Widow, who deals mainly physical damage. So this will not hinder her in any way. Um, her skills seem pedestrian in terms of the stats itself. I mean, what's bleed gonna do? We have, I believe this all defense down goes up to 45%, and I think that she has another all defense down. No, she doesn't. Okay, well, that's it. But yeah. Oh no, here all defense down. This one I believe goes up to 50%. So that could be good for PvE. I don't know if she will be amazing as a character, but I think she can hold her own, given that she does have this all defense down. But I don't expect her to be pushing any higher than like 50, 60 in world boss stages though. So that's just my thought. Darkhawk. Well, okay, Darkhawk to me seems like a copy and paste of Angel. I don't know. Look, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about this, but he seems uncannily similar to Angel. So, where do I get that? Well, they both have wings. They're both speed types. That's just on the superficial level, though. Something that really reminds me of Angel is Angel's third skill has a heal, has immunity to all damage, and I believe it has an accumulation as well, just like Darkhawk. So and their fourth skills involve them iframing and doing an attack that involves them flying in and out of the screen. So, I don't know. They just seem very very similar. I know Angel's leadership is the PvP meta debuff leadership, so that's something that they don't share. This leadership skill is, well, the basic speed leadership increases all speed for allies or whatever. Something Darkhawk has that Angel doesn't is this increases damage dealt to supervillain type characters, which could make him good for PvE. But I mean, this is essentially a Shuri built into his kit, right? Like it's like he always has one of those support characters with him whenever he's in there. He does have all defense down, but I don't know if it's enough for him to make a large impact on PvE. That's my thought. He seems like he could be a good free-to-play character though, because you can get him from bio selectors. I do look forward to testing him because he does look cool. So yeah. All right. So Nova. The other Nova, Richard Rider. I was worried, not worried. I was thinking that this Richard Rider might be a uniform for the current Nova that we have, but I see they're still avoiding the Ultimates thing from 3 years ago, and they're just giving out a new character. And he is the Magneto, the Psylocke, the Invisible Woman of this update, where you get his package for 6,600 crystals, and you get the character at 6 stars, and you get to unlock the mission or whatever. I haven't actually seen what the mission is. I don't think anyone from the Star Creator program has been able to access the mission. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the character, and he seems very good. Though I am concerned because I've seen that the Star Creators have showcased that the tier 2 passive of Richard Rider Nova applies to hero allies. Hero allies ignores target dodge rate by 25%, increases damage dealt to supervillain type characters by 40%. Now here it says it only applies to self. So while other Star Creators have been talking about Richard Rider being a good support for hero characters, if this is not a typo, And if this is what actually comes out in the live server, then I think his value will be sorely diminished. Like, I I I think this is just another one of Netmarble's blunders when it comes to putting out information. I do think that this is a typo. I think I don't see any reason for them to change things from the APK to the live server like this in this way, because I don't know, it seems like they're just shooting themselves in the foot, though they haven't strayed away from doing that in recent times. But yeah, if we look at him as a standalone character, he seems strong. He seems like an upgraded version of the Sam Alexander Nova that we got in the past. So he has a short channeling skill, which he can move the V-pad. Of course, he has this ignore iframe, penetrate all things in the game, super armor, all defense skill, which seems to be extremely powerful, though it may be bugged, as has been discussed by some star creators. And he has a heal on his skill as well. So he's like Nova, the Sam Alexander Nova, but better, basically, as a standalone character. Now, in addition to that, he could have the benefit of being an excellent support character if this is not a typo, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. I do think he still is a support character, a good support character, and that they just made a typo. Now we look at Gladiator, who is the Jean Grey, the Strife, and the Doctor Doom of this update. He is a combat hero who you unlock by finishing all the requirements of the epic quest. I think it's somewhere down there, but we'll just get to that later. He has a very good leadership, which is increase all attacks. I think it scales up to 45%, if I'm not mistaken. Super armor, again, very good for any PvE character. He has the skill damage, bonus damage, decreases all damage received. Good passive. And the tier 2 passive is the Deadpool, the Wolverine heal. When his HP goes below 99%, he'll heal, which is good. Could make him good for PvP. This is the kind of heal that could be good for PvP, because the recovery can scale with a CTB of regen, but we'll have to see about that, because he does seem like he's built for PvE. That's just my thoughts, though. I mean, I haven't got to have my hands on the character. I've just been watching a lot of star creators, yeah, he has accumulation dealt to the enemy, which is the best way to scale your attack in the game. And this is what kind of leads me to believe that he could be good for a PvE, because this kind of buff that can apply to you will increase your damage by a lot. And what could lead this character to be strong in PvP is this penetration that he has on his 5th skill. But again, this skill does have all the defense down too. So, this character could go both ways. It could be very strong for both PvP and PvE. How strong, though, we will have to see. It might be a while before anyone gets their hands on this character in the live build. And then you have to go and build them. Very expensive. You have to dump all the BAM, all the gold into this character bios as well, because you only get them at 1 star. But yeah, I look forward to playing with him. Then we have these 2 uniforms. We have Star-Lord's uniform, increases guaranteed dodge rate. It's just so passive. Though I do think that, based on the skills that I've seen him do, I think it's a complete overhaul of his Infinity War uniform. So I think it's good for him, I guess. Now the Punisher, the Punisher uniform. Now this is a real uniform bonus. It gives him that damage against superheroes and supervillains, and I don't know what it means by enhances basic stats. I think it means it enhances its stats because I don't know I think combat characters have more stats than universals. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I am really not sure what this means. It's kind of vague, which is typically how Netmarble works. But you know what? Even if we ignore that, we just look at the damage, the increase of damage dealt to superhero and supervillain type characters, and that's pretty good on its own already. Even if it just applies to self. I mean, Taskmaster applies to all allies, but to have it just applied to yourself, that's pretty good too, and it makes this character quite strong, I would say. Um, though we will have to see about that. Is he ABX meta? Some people say he might be, but um, I'll wait to see about that. So all the characters in the update get their potential awaken, plus Sam Alexander Nova, which I think I'm looking forward to, because I have on my account I have Sam Alexander Nova at tier 2, so I guess I will be awakening his potential as well. And okay, Star Lord has tier 3 advancement. Now, when this tier 3 was announced a week ago, a week or so ago, I was shocked. I've discussed with some of my friends who play this game, and we've joked around. We've joked around actually, saying, "Hey, can you imagine if Star Lord gets the tier 3?" And we all just laugh about it because we don't think that it's actually going to happen. But I can't believe Netmarble have actually done this and are going through with this. I mean, I've had a week to process it, so I mean, I guess I can believe it now since I've seen it happen. I've adjusted to it. But in this cosmic update, cosmic being the main attribute attached to universal types, why is a universal character not being selected for the tier 3? Why couldn't a Cosmic Ghost Rider have been chosen for the tier 3? Why? I mean, Beta Ray Bill is the main character of the Epic Quest. Why is he not being chosen for the tier 3? Will he be the only main character of the Epic Quest who does not have a tier 3? Like Mr. Fantastic, Wolverine, Deadpool, Doctor Strange, they all have their tier 3s. So, and Beta Ray Bill gets what? An awakening skill? I mean, awakening skills are good, but if you're an awakened skill character versus being a tier 3 skill character, the difference is there's going to be a massive stat buff drop off between the two of them, right? So, and does this mean that Beta Ray Bill will never ever get a tier 3? Because so far, no character in the game has both an awakened skill and a tier 3. So will he just forever be left behind by his competition in the Epic Quest lineup? So Doctor Strange, Deadpool, maybe Wolverine and Mr. Fantastic drop off a little bit, but will they forever be ahead of Beta Ray Bill? Given this, it's things like this that really make me question the way these things are planned. I went on quite a tangent there, but I go back to my point about the universal tier 3. Why couldn't Silver Surfer have been given the tier 3? Now I know he's a very strong character already, even without a tier 3 stat buff. But still, it's been more than a year since we've gotten a universal tier 3. Like, my universal books are just sitting in my inventory, rotting away. And it makes it so that playing Ebony has no purpose in this game. It's... the arguments just seem constantly rehashed. There have been so many people, not just among the star creators, among the people on Reddit as well. People in the forums, though people in the forums always get mad. So I may be just repeating the arguments, but I'm still constantly shocked at the decision making that Netmarble does when it comes to choosing the characters that get the tier 3. Not just that as well, but in various aspects of the game. But this really just makes it seem like they don't know what's going on in their game. This is such a tone-deaf thing to do, especially in light of having Professor X, Scarlet Witch, and a reworked Magneto. Three Blast tier 3s who are either introduced or reintroduced with a new rework. So, I mean, it really just seems like they're so heavily focused on the Blast class, so much so that they're so happy to leave any class leave behind in the dirt, leaving us with 3 universal tier 3s: Captain Marvel, Thor, and Thanos. Jean Grey doesn't count because you don't use universal books for her. But yeah. Anyway, mini rant done. Looking at Star Lord's tier 3 skill, it looks good. Uh, this 70% all defense down is kind of scary. I mean, not super scary because if you use Dr. Voodoo or White Fox's leadership, this only goes up to 98% all defense down, but each hit is 30%, which means it could stack with Weapon Hex. So I'm curious to see how that will work. Crit damage increases by 40%. That is like just when I'm building a character, I'm not accounting for this 40% on a tier 3 skill. So likely, if I could build Star-Lord optimally, I would max out the crit damage already. So this would be arbitrary. Guaranteed crit rate is good. Ignores target's dodge rate is good too. Penetration, invincible, all debuffs. Some pretty chunky attack stat as well. I mean, yeah, it looks standard, but we'll see. It's a long iframe if you look at the GIF. So, and it looks cool though. Like it looks cool. It looks exactly what like the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy would have as his tier 3 skill. But yeah, Star-Lord biometrics have been added to the Dimension Shop. That's good. Makes it easier to max out his uniform if we're gonna do it. Okay, Beta Ray Bill's new Awaken skill. If I'm looking here, right? So these are the max stats. It has the lightning resistance down, but if I'm gonna compare it to Mystique's Awaken skill, it falls short. It's not as good as Mystique's because Mystique has the 70% all defense down. So again, leads me to the question: will Beta Ray Bill be left behind by other characters because of the limitations that Netmarble is imposing on him by making Star-Lord the tier 3 of this update? I don't know. We'll see. But it's just a concern that I have moving forward because I don't know if this Awaken skill is enough to push him like into the meta and to keep him there. Anyway, that's my concern. So we have the new epic quest here. Yes, like I discussed earlier, Beta Ray Bill's the main character, and we're going to be building him. And of course, we're going to be forced to tier 3 Star-Lord if we want to max out Beta Ray Bill, which sucks. Absolutely, I don't really care that we're tier 3 Star-Lord for a cheaper amount than we normally would because it's 640 CCF and 8 blast books instead of 800 CCF and 10 blast books. But I don't like being forced to advance to use resources that I'm saving up for other characters potentially just to get a character that doesn't even use those requirements, since of course Beta Ray Bill isn't a tier 3. And it's like I don't know, I don't really feel like I want a tier 3 Star-Lord. Not gonna lie, I do feel like I want to build Beta Ray Bill, but I don't want a tier 3 Star-Lord. And it's forcing me to do these things. I know these epic quests, they have to change. They have to change given how things are moving forward. The game has advanced a very long way since the last epic quest, which was Mr. Fantastic, the Fantastic Four epic quest. But I don't think this is the way to go. I don't think this is the way to go. That's just what I'm saying. And these are the compensation for advancing. If you advance Star-Lord beyond level 60, this is what you get. Based on what it says here. I don't know what the difference between Potential Awaken level 2 is and Star-Lord level 62. Oh, okay, wait, I think... So, if you advance Star-Lord past level 60, so it's level 62, you get these biometrics. I don't know why there's gold here, but... but yeah, you get these if you have Star-Lord at this level before the update lands. But if you awaken them, let's say you awaken Star-Lord's potential past level 60, but you don't take him to 62, these are what you get. And I think these are not in line at all with how it should scale, because I think you use a lot more antimatter than what is shown here. Let me just check real quick, because like if I want to enhance potential, 276 is the 100% for the awaken level 2. So this is around a little more than half of that, right? Not a little more. Much more than half of that. I don't know if that's fair. I don't think it's fair because you may have had to use a lot more resources than that. And you don't just use Black Antimatter, you also use either Chaos Norn Stones or CCF. But in addition to that, gold as well. Gold is a big concern that I have when I'm taking characters past level 72. So why isn't this being accounted for? But it's at least they acknowledge that there will be people who have taken Star-Lord past level 60 and they're compensating for them for it. Though acknowledging it and compensating them fairly are two different things. Okay, so we move on to the deluxe package. Spending crystals, yeah, benefits. These are things we know already, given how previous epic quests have worked. Same time. Wait a minute. There's a Galaxy Deluxe package and a Special Deluxe package. I don't know what's the difference between them. Well, I guess we'll have to see about that. But what I do know for sure is that the 6,600 package will be available to purchase Nova for sure. Just like it has been for Magneto, Psylocke, and Invisible Woman. So yeah, and these are the requirements, of course, to get Gladiator level 1 native tier 2. Nebula and Punisher will be easy to tier 2, given that you already have access to their bios from the Dimension Shop. You can even tier 2 them right now before the update lands, so that's good. Beta Rebuild, you would have to finish the epic quest, so this kind of implies that you will have to tier 3 Star-Lord as well, because in order to finish Beta Rebuild, you need to have tier 3 Star-Lord. So yeah, Phyla-Vell, which will probably be the hardest. Phyla-Vell will probably be the bottleneck. Phyla-Vell or Richard Rider, depending on which comes first. You buying the Nova package or getting Phyla-Vell's gears all the way up to 20, or using one of the mega tier 2 tickets we've gotten from previously. And Darkhawk shouldn't be too hard when it comes out. So yeah, these are some the special requirements. These rewards seem kinda lackluster to me, not gonna lie, but the Phyla-Vell bios could be helpful, though I don't expect to get them very soon. Yeah, Norn Stone of Chaos, tier 2 advancement ticket, mythic card, not impressive to me, not gonna lie. Okay, so existing epic quest improvements, they make it so that you can run the missions an unlimited amount of times. Currently, there's a limit of 3 on the memory missions and dark dimension missions, which I think hinder the progress of people going through the epic quest, because there might be I finished them a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly, but there may be specific quests that ask you to play, let's say, memory mission. You play it 3 times, and you've already used your 3 runs, and you're gonna have to wait till the next day to do it. This will help players in that sense, allow them to run those missions multiple times, and only allowing the biometrics to be earned 10 times for each stage. So kind of like all of the other missions, like the X-Men missions, the Human Torch thing mission. So I guess that's good. That's good for newer players progressing through the epic quest for the first time. Same thing with the First Family, Sorcerer. Yep. Same thing. Agents can save world boss characters, allies using a preset option. These are the world boss utility improvements, and I think this is very, very good. I look forward to using this because I like to be able to allocate my teams properly before I do my world boss runs. So I think this is very helpful. So thank you, Netmarble, for giving this to us. I just hope it works as displayed here. I hope it doesn't mess up the order, because I remember between updates in the past, the order of the characters have been messed up, and it was very hard to look for characters at certain times. So I hope that's not the case here, and yeah, I look forward to using this. Names, the characters being arranged by name, I don't know about that, but it's okay. This content status board, very helpful as well. I don't do everything, but yeah. Oh, this is an improvement that is quite big, I would say, because the dimension missions have been a massive drain on my energy and my clear tickets. Well, not my clear tickets necessarily, but the energy for sure. And I'm so glad that they are reducing the energy requirements and the clear ticket requirements. I'm glad they acknowledge that that this has been taking quite a toll on the players, and this was such an unnecessary change in the first place. I don't even know why they tried to change it, but I'm so glad they changed it back. So, yeah. New uniform collection, of course. They don't show the reward for the uniform collection. I don't know if they did before, but I guess they don't here. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy special icon. Oh, we'd have the new special icon. The Stormbreaker icon looks really cool. Wow, look at that. Oh, the Star-Lord one was cool too. Actually, yeah. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. The Future Pass, another season of the Future Pass is coming. Um, the Stormbreaker icons being given for the normal pass, no, for the legendary pass, and the Nova icons being given for the mythic pass. I'm just kind of surprised that they didn't make it a Richard Rider Nova instead of an Sam Alexander Nova, but whatever. I think the Stormbreaker one's even more appealing to players, so at least they put that one, the cheaper one, the cheaper. At least they gave the cheaper pass the cooler icon. So yeah, I mean I won't be purchasing any of these, but yeah. Daily loot chest. I don't know how worth it this is. Not gonna lie. It's just gold and antimatter. How much is it? $5? Jeez. They're really milking us. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna buy this anyway. I think I've stocked, like players have been able to stockpile antimatter for a really really long time. Like I don't know how much antimatter me right now personally. What do I have? I've got like 85,000 antimatter, and that's not including the rank 2 to 6 antimatter that I have as well. Like I don't know why I would need this. Why a veteran player would need this. So I guess this is targeted for new players as well. Spend a little bit, get a little further in the game, but okay, potential awakened character will be added to the tier filter. Alright, it's a new way of filtering orders. Penalty. Oh, this is a big one. Agents will receive a penalty for if they exit while selecting a hero in the danger room. Yeah, this has been a problem because like when I play danger room, sometimes when I pick a character or when someone picks a character that's quite popular, like Professor X, people will leave because they're kind of disappointed that they can't play the character. So it's good that this will finally be stopped and people will be forced to stay in the loading screen even if you don't get the character. But I hope this penalty doesn't apply to players who are disconnected while the game is loading. I hope that's what this means. A penalty will not be applied if an agent leaves the danger room during a battle. This is really really vague because it's like, isn't this the point? Like, isn't the point to give a penalty for people who leave the game? But anyway, I hope that's what I hope what I said, that if they're disconnected because of internet problems, that they don't get a penalty. I hope that's the case, and I hope this is just the weird translation. Growth status of unequipped owned uniforms added to the growth score. This again, the game trying to milk us. Good luck to the guy trying to get number 1 Captain America in the game now. You'll have to mythic all his uniforms. First clear award, all the difficulty levels reset after the update. That's a lot of booty boxes, and I'm looking forward to collecting them. Yeah, the records. I never cared about the records, so it doesn't necessarily apply to me. But I'm sorry to those who were chasing those records and have to now chase them again. But I guess it does seem fair. But it's a consequence of tampering with one of your most popular game modes so many times over the past 6 months. Like World Boss has changed so much, and like, I mean, it's their fault for changing it though. So yeah. Okay, so the more game error fixes. These seem pretty arbitrary. No, not arbitrary, not necessarily, but it's just it's good that they're addressing the changes, especially this one, the Nimrod skill being cancelled or moving. That's good. Yeah. With this misleading skill effect of the invisibility, this kind of makes me a little bit concerned because Yelena and Black Widow have invisibility on their effects. So I'm a little concerned as to how this effect will be applied normally, quote unquote, because if they tamper with Yelena or Black Widow's skill effect after players have bought their uniform, there's gonna be hell to pay. But I hope this is just a minor thing. I don't necessarily know what they mean by this. Again, it's a problem with Netmarble's patch notes all the time. The wording is very vague, and there's no clear indication of how things will change at times. I mean, not all the time, of course, but like in instances like this, they don't say how this will be applied. But yeah, again, I could be making a big deal out of nothing, but yeah, there's that. So this is the V6.1 update. Again, it gives me reason for worry, and that's primarily why I'm making this video, because I'm kind of concerned about the direction that the game is taking in terms of moving forward with updates, because it really doesn't seem like the people behind the game are listening to what the players think. It's like they don't know what's going on in their game. They don't know what the status is with the meta of the characters, which is indicated in their selection of tier 3, in the way they're treating the universal characters. And again, there's no new game modes, which is a very important thing that a game needs, right? It's just adding a bunch of new characters, new uniforms to the game, but not necessarily giving us places to use them. So where does this leave us in terms of the update? Well, I do have my apprehensions about the update still, given that it's just, again, all characters, no game modes. It's all surface level things, nothing substantial. I still do want to enjoy the update, and I still plan on covering that, but I'm just concerned. It's been very concerning the direction Future Fight's been heading, and this update has not given me any reassurance whatsoever in terms of the game moving forward. But I will still do my best to try to enjoy it. I just need to get my thoughts out there. So thank you so much for listening.